Yep, that's started. Okay. That started.
So I'm going to just, I'm going to chat people right now in the weight room and just let them know we'll be opening in a couple of minutes, okay?
Perfect. Is Luang Por sitting cloth still in the...
No, how did
We'll probably start about 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Okay.
And the weight room has 25 people.
All right. So welcome everybody who's showing up. We'll be starting in just probably a few minutes late, starting in about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, welcome everyone. I see the Zoom room is filling up, our virtual retreat. People are joining in, and we're still waiting for some people to show up live. This is our live/virtual retreat, doing it in both ways. So welcome to everybody. 25 years of Abhayagiri, honoring our elders retreat, and just so people know, once we have a critical mass of people who have joined in, then I'll lead a very short puja, which will be found on page 2 of Chanting Book 1 for anybody who has the chanting book. It's just the short homage to Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha in Pali and English, and so we'll have the opportunity to do that. After bowing to Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, then I'll be giving a short introduction to what we're doing here, and then also our stalwart retreat manager, Kathy, will also give a bit of a hello to everybody. And then once that happens, there'll be the determining of the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts. And following that will be some Dhamma instruction, perhaps meditation instruction from Luang Por, and then we'll take it from there. And in terms of the timing, it might end up being a little bit different than whatever schedule was posted. So first day, we'll just figure it out as we go. So we'll wait a couple more minutes and for more people to show up, and then we'll get started. And we've come a bit of a ways since the Thanksgiving retreat. So our tech crew, we've gained more skills. We've simplified things. We've got people skilled on camera and audio, and hopefully we're skilled enough on Zoom that people can hear us. So everybody on the screen so far, give a thumbs up if the noise is clear, if the voice is clear. Everybody's giving thumbs up. Okay, that's good. That's very good. And and also for Ajahn Krudadamo and Luang Por, mics can be turned on and off at any time. We can actually speak simultaneously, and it sounds great with this new system. It's not like the old one where each one cancels the other one out. So everyone can speak at the same time, and it sounds super good.
Oh, that's great.
And also, like, we can all turn our mics on for chanting to Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and that's why we've canceled out. That's why we've taken away the floor mic.
That's a huge.
So that's a big change, and yeah, that we can, if it happens that we have a Q&A session where all of us are talking back and forth, we can just leave our mics on and they don't cancel each other out, and you can be 2 people chanting at the same time and it comes through equally, it mixes it equally through the mics. So that's the power of not a non-smart system. It actually sounds better. That's good.
Let me get that up.
I'll do.
There.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and let's see here. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. I'll start by lighting the candles. Or actually, Luang Por is in the right spot. I'll invite Luang Por to light the candles. Bow. Yoso Bhagava
Arahang
Samma Sambuddho, to the Blessed One, the Lord, who fully attained perfect enlightenment, Soakato Yena Bhagavata Dhammo, to the teaching which he expounded so well, Supatipanno Yasa Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho, and to the Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well, Namayang Bhagavantang Sadhammang Sasangang, to these the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, Imehi Sakarehi Yataraham Aropitehi Abhipujayama. We render with offerings a rightful homage. Sadhu no bande bhagava suchira parini buddhopi. It is well for us that the Blessed One, having attained liberation, Pachima Janatanukampamanasa, still had compassion for later generations. Ime sakare dugatapana karabuddhe patiganhatu. May these simple offerings be accepted. Amhakang dikaratang hitaya sukhaya, for our long-lasting benefit and for the happiness it gives us. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava, the Lord, the perfectly enlightened and blessed One, Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi. I render homage to the Buddha, the Blessed One. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo, the teaching so completely explained by him, Dhammam namasami, I bow to the Dhamma. Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho, the Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well, Sanghang namami, I bow to the Sangha. Hannamayang Buddhasa Bhagavato Pupapa Ganamakarang Garomase. Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. Bow 3 times. And then we'll bow 3 times to the senior monk. So welcome everybody, both all in person, everybody here in person and also virtually. And this is a new thing for us, trying to do a limited in-person retreat and virtual retreat at the same time, but it seems like we've simplified it as much as possible, and this is celebrating the 25th anniversary of Abhayagiri that happened on June 1st. So Abhayagiri was opened on June 1st, 1996, and also this next 9 days, it'll culminate on June 17th. We'll have a bhikkhu ordination at 2 p.m. on that day, and that'll be the day of Luang Por Cha's birthday as well. I believe he would have been 103 on that day, something like that. Because 1918, he was born in 1918. So just to express delight that everybody's here and joining in, and this next period of time, the original idea was like 9 one-day retreats for people, but now it's going to be a 1-day retreat for some people. It's going to be a 9-day retreat for other people. It's going to be a 3 or 4-day retreat for other people. So some people might join in as they're able to, and there's also not as many bhikkhus in the hall right now as there might be on future days, because today is the lunar observance day. So, at the beginning of today, we're going to be determining the 5 precepts after myself and Kathy, our retreat manager, gives introductions. But also for anybody who would like to determine the 8 precepts, that's going to be done tonight. At 7 p.m. We're also going to continue the retreat longer than normal today. So most days it'll end at 4:30 p.m. But tonight at 7 p.m. there's evening chanting and meditation, and then after that at around 8:15 p.m. would be the determining of the 8 precepts and another Dhamma talk this evening, just because it's the Uposatha day, it's the lunar observance day. So for anybody who online or in person wants to undertake the 8 precepts for themselves and internally rather than the 5, then there's that opportunity to do that at this time. So, and other things will become more clear through the course of the retreat. I'll just, at this time, I'll just turn it over to Kathy to say a few words of hello.
Hello everybody, welcome. Can you hear me okay? Excellent. So I'm Kathy Cheney. I am your retreat manager for these 9 days of Dhamma. 9 days of Dhamma. This is as Ajahn Yanako said, this is the 25 years of Abhayagiri honoring our teacher's retreat. And so we're so glad you're here. And we're here together on Zoom. And there's 2 pages of Zoom for this day, and people may join and have a full 9-day retreat, and then some of us might join just for a day or 2. So just to know that that's fine. You're welcome to go right through and do a full 9 days, and just have a retreat that way, and or join on the days that you can. You're welcome. And I'm looking just for a moment outside at our on-site Sangha here at the Abhayagiri Monastery, who are joining sort of this Zoom inside outside retreat, and they're just sitting right outside the door. It's lovely, so just want to say welcome to them as well. It's a pleasure for me to be here with the Abhayagiri monastic and lay community. So I just wanted to let you know there's people from all over the world here for our retreat, and this is one of the beauties of Zoom retreat is that people who couldn't otherwise come to the monastery or come to any of the places where we may have retreats, that here you are. You can join us on Zoom. So I want to list I want to name the countries that are represented in our retreat, in our Zoom retreat. Australia, Canada, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, India, Malaysia, Nepal, New Zealand, Norway, Peru, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Thailand, United States, and Russia. Welcome so much to our retreat, everybody from around the world. And if I missed someone or a country or a place, please forgive me. You're welcome. So what I'd like to do now is I'm going to share screen, and I want to go over the retreat information page with you just a little bit. That's a way of orienting you to the retreat. And you all must have received this because you're here. So just to let you know that this is the announcement section, and throughout the retreat there'll be announcements posted here that pertaining to things happening that day, or just anything that we want you to know. And the link to the chanting book is here. This is just some helpful information to prepare for retreat. And let me show you actually real quick here. When you click on a link, what you're going to see is you're going to click on it once, and then you click on this, the next one, and that will actually open to the chant book. So you actually need to click on the links twice. Sometimes that gets glitchy. So here are our retreat resources. Once again, the chanting book. And this is a form for question and answer, and we'll every day at 3:45 p.m. Pacific time, we'll have a question and answer session. And so feel free to submit your questions, and we'll bring them to the session today. So this link will open to a YouTube page, and this is where all of our sessions will be once they're actually being streamed onto YouTube right now. So whenever you go to YouTube, you're going to find the retreat sessions. And here's a link to the 25 years of Abhayagiri slideshow. And during for our on-site community, during the mealtime and break, we have a screen right outside, and they can actually see the retreat. They can see all of us on the screen to just bring us all together. But during the break, there'll be this slideshow will be shown for everybody. So feel free to join us in that way, and you can enjoy the slideshow. And you're here, so you must have found the Zoom link to the meditation hall. And here is the schedule. And as Ajahn Yanako said, this is the schedule from June 9th through the 16th. And this is the June 17th schedule, which will include a bhikkhu ordination. And also, any information around, Ajahn Yanako mentioned that tonight there'll be a Dhamma talk and an opportunity to take the 8 precepts at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and as well, outside of the regular daily schedule, on Saturday, June 12th, there'll also be a Dhamma talk offered at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. And then for anyone who has a need, down here is extra Zoom details. If people need to call in or need that number, you can find that down here. And this document is live, and I'll be adding things throughout the retreat, information. So you'll want to refresh your page on just a couple of times a day, just to make sure you have the most recent information. So I think that's about all I have to tell you about the retreat at this point. And you are very welcome to email me if you have any questions, if there's any way I can support you. My email address is on the retreat information page, which we just looked at. So I'm here, and I just want to wish you all a beautiful retreat. Take good care of yourselves.
Okay, thank you very much, Kathy. And Kathy's coming here hot on the heels of managing a online Ajahn Sucitto retreat. How many people were on that? How many registered?
500 registered.
500 registered.
Yes.
So hopefully she gets more of a retreat here than having to manage that huge number of people.
Can I just say also that some of the people in our retreat were also on that retreat.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, back-to-back
Yes.
retreats, monastic retreats. Yeah. So we'll, at this time, we'll invite Chalita to lead the request of requesting the 5 precepts. Yeah. And it's on page 126 of Chanting Book 1 for anyone who'd like to follow along and also chant the request along with her.
Mayang Pante Tisarane Na Saha Pancha Sila Niyajama Tutiyampi Mayang Pante Tisarane Na Saha Pancha Sila Niyajama Tatiyampi Mayang Pante Tisarane Na Saha Pancha Sila Niyajama.
And for people who've never done this before, I'll do the Namo Tassa chant 3 times, and we'll do the refuges, and after doing the Namo Tassa 3 times, people can repeat after me, and so on. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi.
พุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิ
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
ธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิ
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
สังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิ
Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami.
ทุติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิ
Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami.
ทุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิ
Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami.
ทุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิ
Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami.
ตติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิ
Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami.
ตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิ
Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami.
ตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิ
Ti sarana kamanang nititang.
อาหมะพันเต
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
ปานาติปาตาเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิ
I undertake the precept to refrain from taking the life of any living creature.
I undertake the precept to refrain from taking the life of any living creature.
Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
อาทินาทานาเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิ
I undertake the precept to refrain from taking that which is not given.
I undertake the precept to refrain from taking that which is not given.
Kamesu miccachara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
กาเมสุมิชาจราเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิ
I undertake the precept to refrain from sexual misconduct.
I undertake the precept to refrain from sexual misconduct.
Musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
มุสาวาทาเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิ
I undertake the precept to refrain from lying.
I undertake the precept to refrain from lying.
Sura meraya macha pamadatana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
สุราเมรยมัชฌะปมาทฐานาเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิ
I undertake the precept to refrain from consuming intoxicating drink and drugs which lead to carelessness.
I undertake the precept to refrain from consuming intoxicating drink and drugs which lead to carelessness.
Imani pancha sikkhapadani silena sugating yanti silena boga sampada silena nibbutting yanti tasama silang visotaye.
สาธุสาธุสาธุ
At this point, we'll invite Luang Por to give some introductory words and on meditation or Dhamma or whatever comes to the heart, and can speak for as long as feels suitable. After that, we'll go into some walking meditation.
Okay, good morning, everyone. And welcome to Abhayagiri, wherever you are. And yes, this taking this occasion to commemorate the 25 years of Abhayagiri. It's a great opportunity to reflect on the say the founding of the place, the purpose of the place. And this morning is, I actually give a talk this afternoon as well, so I'll probably give more kind of, maybe talk a bit about the history and purpose a bit more. But I think this morning, really to begin is begin with a meditation, settling the mind, and of course the theme is 25 years of Abhayagiri, honoring our elders, honoring our teachers, and it's that, I think one of the things, that theme that we can carry through, say, this whole 9 days, but carry into this session of meditation is a lifting up in the mind, a sense of gratitude and appreciation for what we have here, both on a physical level, but on a community level, and that's something that nurtures the heart in our meditation. So often, I mean, it's easy for meditation to turn into a kind of a project where one feels compelled to try to be a competent meditator or be an accomplished practitioner of mindfulness, and try to become this peaceful person, and there's so much effort and contriving that it becomes very complicated and not so satisfying. But directing attention to qualities of the heart that are supportive of kind of brightness of mind are really important. Say, like when the Buddha speaks of in the discourse that he gave on the highest blessings, the aspect of having a kind of respect, honor, appreciation, and humility, those are things that the Buddha says are highest blessings. They bring about blessings in our life, and that quality of blessings engenders a sense of peace and spaciousness and well-being. That's in the Pali, Garla Vocha Niva Tocha. Of course, the next one's pretty good as well. Santuti Jagatanyuta. Contentment and gratitude. These are all qualities of the heart that are worthy of lifting up, and particularly in terms of thinking of our having the physical place of Abhayagiri, but the whole community of Abhayagiri and the kind of lineage that has nurtured it and that it has arisen out of. Those are all perceptions that lead to these very wholesome mental states. So that as we sit and begin to draw attention to our meditation object, to be able to use that lifting up of the mind to a wholesome object. So we do that with if our meditation object is the breath, and we lift up our attention to the experience of the breath. At the same time, and or in conjunction with that, we can be lifting up attention to those qualities of, say, honoring, appreciation, gratitude, humility, contentment. Those are all qualities that brighten the heart. So that as we breathe in, that's lifting up attention. As we breathe out, just trying to sustain that attention, not trying to force the mind to hold on to it desperately, but allowing the breath to buoy up a sense of awareness and clarity and a certain brightness, so that breathing in, breathing out, we can almost ride or coast on that experience of the breath and direct attention to a sense of being present, both to the physical experience of the breath, but also the mental experience of the breath. Because the breath can be, or whatever object that we're working with, but the breath is certainly what I tend to work with most and use it as a base for instructions. The breath being an experience of say, spaciousness, lightness, brightness. And breathing out, letting that experience of lightness, brightness is pervading the sense of our body, so that our mindfulness of our meditation object, mindfulness of breathing, is both it's a mental and physical activity grounded in this present moment. So breathing in, being present with the knowing, breathing out, just being present with the knowing. And of course that knowing is going to drift. There's going to be thoughts come in, impressions come in. You just recognize them and say, well, this is the time to be with the breath. This is the time to be with the knowing. This is the time to, it's like honoring the opportunity to be a part of and be a recipient of the practice and the embodiment of the practice. So over these next days, we will be meditating together, sitting meditation, walking meditation. We will be sharing Dhamma reflections together. There'll be questions and answer periods, and we'll have the opportunity to explore our practice. But I think it's important to try to set the intention right from the beginning of this simplicity of bringing a kind of gratitude, respect, appreciation for the practice, for ourselves, for all those who have fostered this practice and fostered the manifestation of Abhayagiri, and an opportunity for delight. So just as we breathe in, just opening the heart, opening the mind to that experience of awareness and of delight. Breathing out, letting that awareness and delight kind of permeate and pervade the experience of this body, this mind. In order to do that, in order to experience that, one does need to just release, relinquish, drop the whole self-identification program. Me trying to force my mind to be something or other. And just be present. Breathing in, being with the experience of the breath. Breathing out, just being with the experience of the breath. And as I said, of course the mind is going to wander, but you don't have to go running after the mind. You don't have to chase it down, because as soon as you pay attention, you're right back in this present moment awareness. It never went anywhere. Just returning to it, learning how to appreciate it, learning how to be with that experience. That's over these next days, returning to this simplicity. Breathing in, just being with the knowing. Breathing out, just being with the knowing. And the exercise or the work is in the kind of the resisting the compulsions of the mind to get entangled. when we come back to this, that simplicity of breathing in, being with the knowing, breathing out, being with the knowing, everything is clear. The possibility of clarity and stillness are always there. So we can just sit quietly for a bit, and then to let this kind of settle and steep. If I can have the bell. Okay, so just sitting quietly.
So now we'll do a period of walking meditation. And for those of us here, and the idea is a short forest walk. It's on a level trail, and myself and whatever other monastics want to lead that can. What we'll do is go in single file. We'll take a short bathroom break, also known from now on as a bio break. We'll take a short bio break, as they call in the retreat centers, and then meet at the bell tower. So all of us here in person will meet at the bell tower, and I'll lead a slow walking meditation out in the forest. And then for people who are attending remotely, if you have a park outside of your home, or you might, depending on your situation, you might actually have to do walking meditation in your home, or you could continue sitting however you would like to practice. And also for people here, if you, even though it is a level walk, there might be some loose rocks at certain points. So if you feel at all unstable on your feet, you're welcome to either do walking meditation here in the cloister area or continue sitting if you like. And then after that, we'll come back here to the Dhamma hall and continue doing some more sitting meditation. Feel free to take a break or anything if you need to. Okay. Walking meditation up here. Okay. Very good. What time do we come back? 10:15. Yeah. 10:15 is around the time we come back. Okay, now it's a period of sitting meditation. And as we come back, we'll sit in meditation for a little over half an hour. We'll sit in meditation for just over half an hour till about 10 till 11, or maybe a little bit beyond that. So here on the West Coast, it's about 5 to 11, and the meal blessing, it'll be a little bit later today than all of the other days because the monks are on alms round. So there's 3 alms routes. There's the local city of Ukiah, the local town of Redwood Valley, and then Fry Vineyards. They just walk down Tamkai Road. So it could be a little bit before they get back. So in the meantime, I can talk a little bit about the alms round and what it is. So it's 25 years of Abhayagiri, but over 2,500 years of alms rounds since the time of the Buddha. This is the livelihood of the monastics, and more specifically here at Abhayagiri, the bhikkhus, and just a very timeless activity that we get supported very directly with food. Part of our rules, we are not allowed to accept money, so people might try to offer money into our bowls when we're on alms round, and we have to say, well, thank you for your generosity, but sorry, we aren't allowed to accept money. But we can accept food, so there's that very direct relationship. People are keeping us alive, keeping us sustained day to day. So even though Abhayagiri is a very well-supported monastery, then we still get supported in this way. It's 25 years of people coming and making offerings to the kitchen as well. 25 years of anagarikas working in the kitchen. 25 years of kitchen managers. So almost every monk here has been the kitchen manager at one point here at Abhayagiri. I was the kitchen manager in 2002. And whenever the monks do come back from alms round, and then the kitchen lays out the food, they'll ring the bell. That's how it works here. And also, once everybody's back, the bowls will be brought in here into the hall, and we have these. Every seat has these rings. And so this is something we do with this new hall. We've got these rings and our bowls sit in front of us. That allows us, it's very practical, allows us to have our bowls in here and then chant the meal blessing and then go directly out and get our food. And then once we get our food and we go back into the dining hall, then after the last anagarika gets their food, then we ask that people allow those who are on the 8 precepts and not eating dinner to then get their food, and then everybody else can get their food after that. So we have the meal tables outside, the buffet table is outside for this retreat, so it makes it very easy, convenient. Also something that'll be happening at 3:45 p.m. each day, so later in the afternoon will be the Q&A session, and for everybody here in person there'll be little pieces of paper and pencils and a little basket to write questions, as we've done on our Thanksgiving retreats in the past. And then also there's the online form for submitting questions on the for people joining in via Zoom. Where should we put the basket?
It's right outside the door.
Right outside the door here. On one of those little tables. Yeah. So for people who have questions, then you can write a question on a piece of paper, and that'll be submitted to whichever monk is answering questions that day. And it's nice to keep the questions kind of short, so no need for biographies in the questions, but just try to distill your question into something simple that we might be able to easily address or find an answer to. That's why we tend to make the pieces of paper a little bit smaller, so that can't write too much on it. But for people online, then that's good to remember as well. Try to make the questions a little bit shorter. And so for the time being, I think, because it might be a few minutes before the monastery car gets back with the alms round, with the alms food, we'll sit and meditate for a few more minutes. It looks like the vehicles have arrived, and so it'll still be a few more minutes while they put the food from Alms round out. And it's pretty amazing how well supported we are by the local community, and really wonderful to see. So there's different places that invite us to come in Ukiah every time. And there's a Thai restaurant, there's a Japanese restaurant, there's a bakery, there's a flower shop. They offer flowers every time. And so we'll probably be adding some flowers to the shrine from the alms round if the flower shop was open today. There's 4 nail places, so 4 nail salons that we go to that have invited us every time. And there's a donut shop that offers. There's a mini mart gas station. The owner comes out and offers every time. Sometimes there's spontaneous offerings, people who just stop and see us and want to offer. There's a park where people are waiting sometimes to offer food to us. So sometimes the DRBU, the Dharma Realm Buddhist University students, are out there at the park. There's a hotel. There's a hotel that offers. So that's in Ukiah. And then in Redwood Valley, there is a I'm sorry? It's live, but yeah, you can, I've given people warning that bowls are going to be set out, and so yeah. In Redwood Valley, sometimes there's spontaneous offerings. There's a guy we've known for years. He offers out of his garden. Also, after we do give the meal blessing in here, there will be a slideshow, and there'll be so after the bowls all come in here and the Sangha is assembled and we give a meal blessing, then there will be a slideshow that is played, and it'll be on the big screen outside for everybody who's here live, but it'll also be anybody who's on Zoom, then that'll just play as the screen you're looking at right now. It'll become the slideshow. So as you have the meal or whatever, welcome to watch that slideshow. It's a little over an hour and a half, and goes year by year, Abhayagiri, so starting pre-Abhayagiri, so before June 1st, 1996, and then going year by year, so there will be a little picture of saying what year it is, and then there will be a bunch of photos from that year, just recollecting each year all the way to the present, all the way from 1996 to 2021. Thank you. Then for any of the international audience, if it's like midnight or something, wherever you are, then you can watch the slideshow at any time. There's also a YouTube link to the slideshow that will have been sent to you. So that's the bell, meaning the meal is ready to be received. There'll be a number of bhikkhus receiving the food formally on the buffet table. When a bhikkhu receives something, then by our rules, it's offered to every bhikkhu. Yeah. Also, it gets offered every day, so one of our rules is we can't store up food. So whatever food is offered to us that day, that's it. That's it for that day. Then the next day it'll be a new food offering. And when we do the meal blessing, it's a particular chant that we do in Pali, the Yata Varivaha, that at a certain point we'll probably do this as an ending chant for the end of the day's session. Do that at some point so you get a translation of it. Generally, part of the chant it's done for spreading loving kindness, sharing the goodness of our lives with departed relatives, but also it's just sharing it with anybody. They don't have to be departed. And also that it's a recollection of the natural result of giving of food offerings is long life, beauty, happiness, and strength. Ayu wano sukang balang. So that's part of the chant as well that we do. And sometimes with the food offerings, especially if there's a lot of food, it can take a while to do all the food offerings, to do the receiving. And according to our rules, each dish is offered. And that, especially when we have these big ceremonies like Katina, it can take some time, but then it's properly offered according to Vinaya. And whenever the Sangha is assembled, we'll invite Luang Por to give the blessing chant. And once the Sangha files out and gets their food after the last person, then if the last Anagarika out could ring the big bell, and that'll be the sign that everybody else can then get their food. Good enough. I think he gets Ajahn Sudanto's food, so
right.
It usually takes a while.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, we will offer the blessing, and today is the first day of the this period of Dhamma practice. It also is our lunar observance day, so it's. I think we'll be settling more into a routine as we get the today passes and the days pass. It'll become a lot more smooth and apparent. But for right now, everything is pulled together very nicely, and we will offer our anumodana, our blessing. Yatha varivaha pola paripulenti sakarang evameva itotinang petanang upakapati ichitang matitang tumhang kipameva samichatu sape parendu sangapa Janho panaraso yatha mani chotiraso yatha Sambarogo vinasatu Mate bhavadvandarayo sukhitika yuko bhava Abhivadhana sili sanichang utapachayino Jataro dhamma vadande Ayuvanno sukhang balang bhavatu sapamangalang rakandu sambadevanda Sama Buddha Nupavena Sanda Sote Bhavanute Bhavatu Sapamangalang Rakandu Savadevanda Sama Dhamma Nupavena Sanda Sote Bhavanute Bhavatu sapamangalang rakandu sambadevanda Sama Sangha nupavena sanda soti bhavandute.
And we'll gather again at 1 p.m. for the Dhamma talk.